Welcome to GSCC Youth. We are so glad that you're joining us today as we continue our series, Who is Jesus? This month's memory verse is found in John 17:3, and it says, "And this is the way to have eternal life, to know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, the one who you sent to earth." John 17:3. Jesus wants you and me to know him. This month we have learned that Jesus is the Good Shepherd, that he is the resurrection and the life, and he is the Christ. Today we look at something very significant that Jesus showed us about himself the night of Passover celebration found in John 13. Before the Passover celebration, Jesus knew that his hour had come to leave this world and return to his Father. He had loved his disciples during his ministry on earth, and now he loved them to the very end. It was time for supper, and the devil had already prompted Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had given him authority over everything and that he had come from God and would return to God. So he got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel he had around him. When Jesus came to Simon Peter, Peter said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You don't understand now what I am doing, but someday you will." "No," Peter protested, "you will never, ever wash my feet." Jesus replied, "Unless I wash you, you won't belong to me." Simon Peter exclaimed, "Then wash my hands and head as well, Lord, not just my feet." Jesus replied, "A person who has bathed all over does not need to wash, except for the feet to be entirely clean. And you disciples are clean, but not all of you." For Jesus knew who would betray him. That is what he meant when he said, "Not all of you are clean." After washing their feet, he put on his robe again and he sat down and he asked, "Do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right because that's what I am. And since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. I tell you the truth, slaves are not greater than their master, nor is the messenger more important than the one who sends the message. Now that you know these things, God will bless you for doing them." John 13, 1-17. Before Jesus' last Passover meal with his disciples, he does something profound and completely unexpected. He washes the feet of his disciples. He is God, the Good Shepherd, the resurrection life, the Christ, the Lord and teacher, and he takes the position of a household servant and washes his disciples' feet in preparation for dinner. We see that Peter is really taken by surprise and doesn't understand why Jesus, his Lord and teacher, would wash his feet. It's supposed to be the other way around, but Jesus wants his disciples to see that even though he has authority over everything, he has a heart to serve, just as he wants us to have that same heart to serve those around us. Jesus even goes as far as to serve and wash the feet of Judas, who he knew had already decided to betray him so the Pharisees could arrest Jesus. Jesus was not who people expected the Christ and Messiah to be. Even though he had all authority, he willingly sacrificed everything so that we could know God, so that our relationship would be restored, and so that we could have the abundant life that God desires for all of us. Jesus is inviting you to know him and to receive the life that he offers all who believe and trust in him. Take a step toward knowing him more this week.